Okay, so we kind of briefly mentioned this, but I'm still going to go over it and show you guys how I find the speculative portion of my trading, like my portfolio allocation, how I actually find those coins. And I briefly mentioned them in another module, but let's go ahead and jump into that. Pretty much the rules for this are I like to look for coins that are up like 20%. Most people will be shy and stay away from these, but this just shows that there's already been a rally of some sort, a pullback, and now potentially it's taking off. So I'm really only looking to speculate on these, and as you guys can recall from my actual module, the speculative portion is about 20%. It could be 10% for people if they're a little bit more scared, but 20% is what I recommend. I'm looking for graphs that show cup and handle pattern or something that seems to be forming into a cup and handle, and I make sure that the coin is valid, and I do that by going on Reddit, searching Twitter, and checking to see that the founder is pretty easily accessible. I'm looking for any type of news to show that there is buzz around the coin, and I'm also looking to make sure that the coin is usable, meaning that it has a following and it's actually out there and you can use it for something. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at to see what that usability is. So, okay, let's see. The steps involved are adding it to the watch list. And what you might have to do on some of these sometimes is hold them for a while. So I'm going to show you how you go into the actual watch list portion and then do that. So let's jump into my favorite site. You could do this on what do you call it here? Coin Market Cap. So let me show you how to do it in Coin Market Cap. It's kind of a little bit more intensive. So what I like to look for in this particular case is I look at the cryptocurrencies, and I like to look for a market cap of 10 to 100 million, a price of up to $1, and volume of 1 million plus. So when I sort these out, you're going to see that I get this massive size of, not really massive, it's somewhat a bunch of coins. And I like to make sure and see what they're up the past 24 hours. So I'll start looking at namely like these two. So I would look at Agrello, DLT, and GTC. And where I like to pull them up is on Cryptopia. A lot of these won't be up on Cryptopia, but Cryptopia just seems to have like a lot of speculative coins that could potentially go up. So I like to look right here on the sort this by the coins that are up the most, and I like to look between 20%, 15 to like 25, maybe 30%. I like to look at these, and I just like to start looking at graphs. Like remember we looked at fuel earlier, so if I click on fuel and I look at the last I could see what fuel's done, and I could see that it went up originally. Its previous highs all the way up here at 530 satoshis, and then it went down. And then we're looking for another entry position as soon as it shows that it's ripe. So what is ripe? And that is, let me get out the drawing board and show you guys exactly what that is. All right, so we got our drawing tool here. And what I like to look for is always is a run up, a run back down. And then this is usually, like I'll look for a support or resistance area here where it can bounce off of. And that's where I look if it holds and jump in here. The other pattern that I like to look for is, I've talked about in the past, is for this to form into a cup or handle, like maybe like this, bounce back off here, create the handle, and then break out here at this top, and I'll look to enter here at this top. So on this particular chart, if we look at this chart for fuel right now, it's gone up, it's retraced back, and it's really not shown any sign other than holding this resistance, which it hasn't even bounced off of any sort of strength. So I'll wait to see for that sign of strength before I jump in, but immediately it gets put on my radar, primarily because I know fuel is a good coin and it can actually break out and hit as much as this and higher. So I would be looking to definitely have it on my radar and look for that sign of strength so that I could jump in. A couple other ones that stand out just because I know the actual tickers here are, or I guess they're not tickers, I don't know actually what they are, is ETC. So I would certainly look at ETC and have a look at what ETC shows. Let's look at the 6 month or the 3 month. Let's look at the 3 month. Let's see, this is today. If we look at all time, 1 day, really can't see much on it. It's pretty flat, so we'd have to go down to a lesser time frame to see more. So with Ethereum Classic, I think I saw a breakout here somewhere in the day, and maybe I was looking at another time period. Let's see, 30. 1 day. Here we go. It still doesn't show any, so let's just go into the 3-month. So it's pretty flat in general, though. I know that it's a pretty decent coin, and that would definitely be on my actual list. So let's see, anything else stands out up higher, and then of course we could put in DLT and probably look at that on TradingView since we saw it on another platform. DLT, we'll look at it on Binance. We'll erase this drawing. We'll go to the chart. And we'll see here that this definitely has, and we can actually draw here, there's been a run up. And now this retracement. And it retraced, it pulled back down, and it's showing some strength. So this is on the, I believe this is all. No, it's year to date. 1 year chart. Okay, so on the 1 year chart, which is fine because it's a daily chart, it's showing some pretty decent strength, and it's up. It's been up a couple days, so I would still want it to be a little more strength. There's been a pretty strong run up, so probably around this point, I would actually start getting interested. If it could make it past this resistance, I'd start to become interested. So that'd be at 81.88 Satoshis. Let's take a look at what price this is at now. So this could definitely like run, and let me just use this drawing. It's much easier. This is kind of like in the middle of the cup and handle pattern, and then it could go here and then pull back, or it could just straight take off. Like there's 2 scenarios. So what I could do here is at 55.80 Satoshis. If we look at that price, I'm putting it in my calculator, times the current Bitcoin price, which is 85.31. That is 47 cents. If it could reach 81.88, I think that'd be double that. Actually, a little more. 47 cents. So let's look at 81.88 Satoshis times 85.07 equals 69. 20 cents more. It has a chance to really run. And where could it run to? That's a scenario that we would have to run through what I talked about previously, which is this line, which can be, oops, I didn't pick the right line, so let me delete that. Up to wherever this top is, which we can't even see on the actual chart. I think it's even taller than that. So that's actually that size. So this little button is what did that for me. I could go scroll or go like that. And it will run to potentially right here, which is 1,200 Satoshis. So a lot of things to think about. Of course, here is an okay actual signal to jump in, but you have to understand that you are jumping in a little ahead of where I potentially would jump in, but it's still fine. It just still runs the risk that it could retrace down lower, and this could potentially go like this. You know, it could become a trend, a downward trend. However, with what's happening with BTC and stuff right now, although we are still in a downtrend, I believe that we're almost at the tail end of it. And what makes me believe that is all the indications with Sinbot and a lot of other market sentiments. People are now starting to think that this is going to go up. So as a result of that, I think this is perfectly fine. We've had 3 green days. I would look to possibly jump into this and take a pretty quick profit here. I think a profit of, let's see, 8,600 Satoshis is possible. So that would be like a 30% move, and it would be a nice little scalp. Or in the long run, which would mean like if you hold this till about March, you could potentially hit this point where I talked about, which is right here, which is 1,200 Satoshis. And that would give you a little over 100% your money, like maybe 125%. So that's kind of how I pick them out. And I look at all these factors to think about. This could also, on the negative side, it could come back and retrace as far back as this point here, because that was previous support. So it could come back here to about 3,500 or 3,800, so we'll say 4,000. So you potentially be down 10%, but overall, I think it has a lot of upside, and these are the points where I think the only thing that we didn't draw on here was the trend line for the fib. So if we just take it from here to there and then out, you will see that the point, a potential point of exit would be right here, definitely between 1,200 and 1,300 satoshis. So, or 13,000, I'm sorry, 12,000 and 13,000 satoshis. So let me know if you guys have any questions on this or anything else. Again, I just wanted to quickly recap this because I know I talked about it in another video, but I possibly didn't explain where I would gather those coins. So we analyzed DLT that I found in the coin market cap area, and I also analyzed the ones that I found in Cryptopia by just looking at Cryptopia. But again, we could chart them over here on TradingView and get to be able to use all their fantastic drawing tools. So if you guys need any help with anything, just let me know. I will see you guys in a future video.